Here we have the all-new 2025 Chevy Tahoe. This one comes in the Z71 trim level in iridescent pearl tri-coat. And then we have the Gideon dark atmosphere leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And this is definitely the off-road oriented Tahoe. As we come around to the front end here, we get our LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights. And I like how on the Z71, the fog lights are there, but on the LT I just reviewed, they were closer to the middle. And I just think it's cool that you actually get a different overall fog lamp placement there, just to have this more off-road look here. Love the front bumper, red recovery hooks, of course. And it looks so aggressive. It's crazy. Very impressed. Another favorite is gonna be these 20-inch aluminum wheels. They have like a 5-spoke star look, but they also they have so many spokes. It's just, they did a great job making this wheel. Absolutely great job. Goodyear Wrangler tires, of course. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then we have our memory seat functions, power door lock controls. We get express down for the back windows, 1-touch up and down for the driver front passenger. Power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors. And then we do get a Bose sound system. Now over here, we do get full 4-wheel drive here. We have our 4-wheel low that we don't get necessarily with the other 4-wheel drive vehicles. Headlamp controls, tons of different features there. Trailer brake controller, hood release, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And there's the power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar support. Sorry, my lunch is kind of fighting me right now, but big thank you to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing us to review the Tahoe today. I'll leave a link below in the description. And if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers in your area are fighting to get you the best price on one of these. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seat room. If I'm sitting behind myself, being 6'3" with longer legs. So there's a space there, pretty good. Knees are barely brushing the back of the seat. And then you also have the option to slide the seat forward and back. So when it's all the way back and I'm sitting back in the seat, they don't touch. Seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC controls are here. That definitely needs to be on high instead of low with it freezing outside. And then 3-stage heated outboard seats, USB-C charge ports, 3-prong household plug-ins, kind of dark down there. There's a look at the front from back here. This one does have the optional panoramic sunroof. So that's what the roof looks like when the shade is up. There's a look at the 3rd row there. And then you have a USB-C charge port on that side and that side, along with a bottle holder on both sides as well. And then back there, I've tested this in the LT model, so it's gonna be the same legroom. I can fit back there, but it's not comfortable. But I can actually fit my body behind myself in that 3rd row, so that's pretty impressive. Now let's make our way towards the back. Now over here, fuel filler. And then love the new taillights on the back end there. Again, they don't flash like that. That's just how my camera picks them up. But a nice look. And I apologize, the vehicle's filthy. Car wash is busted today where it got so cold. But rear parking sensors integrated in that back bumper. Hitch right there if you need to tow. We do get the dual exhaust, and there's our spare tire. And I just like the rumble of the dual exhaust on these. Very nice, very refined yet aggressive. Now behind the 3rd row, we have the top tethers on the back of those seats. You get the same thing for the 2nd row. And then over here, we can power release our 2nd row. We can power fold our 3rd row. When the seats in the 2nd row are up far enough, they'll fold flat. And then another 3-prong household plug in there. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, you can hit this and then it'll tumble, or you can just fold into the floor. But you also have a button right there to fold it flat as well. So again, just hit that a second time to actually release the seat. But you have to have both hands for it, but it can be done. And then to our front passenger seat, two-way power lumbar there, and then power for the seat back, seat bottom. Love the trim here. Lockable glove compartment. And then over here to the window sticker, you all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. But this sticker's for right at $78,930, which isn't bad in my opinion for what you get here. Just compared to everything else on the market for a full-size SUV. Things have gotten more expensive, of course. But there's that 5.3 V8. And let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel here, heat's there. There's the horn. Over to the infotainment system, we get this new Google Assistant screen. AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth audio, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. And then we also have Alexa, if you want to use that. Of course, with it having the Google Assistant system, we have access to Google Maps. With a subscription, you can use all of the features of it. And it's pretty nice. And I like having the subscription because if you just need to use it for a road trip 1 month out of the year, that's better than paying $500 up front to use a navigation system that you'll rarely use, if ever. Wi-Fi hotspots there, and in your settings, we can change our vehicle settings, team driver, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive. And then we can also change our language or units of measurement in the system settings there. Backup cameras there, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You get the bird's eye view too. And then your front camera, different views for the front and the back as well. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls with a 3-stage heated front seat. So we can control that either from the climate screen by hitting that over there, or you have a lot of your stuff down here and then a few controls down there. Hazards are right here. Wireless charging pad, USB-A, USB-C ports, bottle holders, and then the center console cubby space right in there. And then this one also has the hideaway too. So push that all the way back and then have a little storage there too. Now, there is the roof with the sunshade all the way back. We're gonna one-touch slide it. So it goes all the way back, and then we can just slide it forward once more. Sorry about the glare, but there's a look at the back seat from up here. And then all of your controls for the sunroof, power fold, the third row, and the power liftgate are right there. Now we do have rain sense wipers, so we can activate those here. Our rear wipers are over there with the fluid, and then our front fluid right there. High beam toggle, flash, and then our shifter on this right side. We can pull for neutral, up for reverse, down for drive, press P for park. And then we have a low mode here as well. Once in drive, you can activate that and then use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Now on the left side behind, you can go through track lists or radio station presets when you're in the audio menu. And then behind on the right side, you can always use this to adjust your volume up or down. We get adaptive cruise, so we can turn that on, cancel, set the speed, set the gap adjust. And then voice recognition, we can go through our audio sources by hitting this and then scrolling, and then mute button, Bluetooth button there. And we have, I believe, 4 different gauge cluster views. So pretty nice there. Push button start. Finally, key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Tahoe Z71 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the Tahoe here, pretty quick. Of course, with a 5.3. If you had a 6.2, it'd be a bit quicker, but honestly, unless you've driven the 6.2, you're not gonna miss having it. This has plenty of pep in it. You have the option to adjust the drive modes as well as the suspension too, so in sport mode, it's even more lively. And I just love how menacing the exhaust sounds. I'm gonna put it back in a normal mode here, and I'm just gonna give it a little pull getting on the interstate, nothing crazy. So this is not gonna be the full-on pedal down with this only having 6 miles, but I will give it a slight pull. Here we go. So with a 10-speed automatic, you will have a lot of shift points. And honestly, the shifts aren't bad. And that's one thing I like about the 10-speed that Chevy has in these Tahoes. A lot of the other vehicles, it's just nice to have something that can be more efficient, but then also still perform when it needs to. Now I just drove an LT that had 22-inch wheels, and even though the Z71 has the off-road tires and 20s, still feel less vibration from the road, and I also hear just a tad less as well, but just barely. And I mean, if you need an off-road oriented vehicle, you're gonna wanna get the Z71 anyway. You're not really gonna be worried about the tires. You're gonna expect them to be louder. But I also just like how it drives, brakes, steers, just very normal, but very luxurious at the same time. There's auto stop there. Now, in terms of what you get for the money here, it's expensive. It's a Tahoe, it's a 25, it's a Z71, but you get a lot of features here, especially with this comfort package, having the heated seats, the power folding third row, the optional sunroof here. Love having the adaptive cruise standard. You just get a lot for the money, I think, even though it's almost 80 grand. But the other thing you get is room, and there is tons of space in this Tahoe. Third row, great space. Second row, good space for an adult. And then of course the front, being as adjustable as it is, you have plenty of space there. But I really like how this drives. I like how all the new Tahoes drive. They're pretty reminiscent of the outgoing model year, but also it's just, the new steering wheel is a big one. Just having that thick padding there. Then of course having the new digital display, having the new Google Assistant screen. I will say for this amount of money, I would expect a rear camera mirror right there, but not really a big deal. Don't really use mine that much, and it's kind of like a regular mirror. The objects are closer than they appear, and sometimes they appear like they're right on you when they're not, just based on where the camera is. But other than that, not really missing any luxury other than the cooled seats and maybe Super Cruise. But if you're not used to having that, you're not gonna miss it. I want to give one more thank you to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Tahoe Z71 today. If you want a vehicle with a lifetime powertrain warranty, definitely check them out on Chevrolets, Buicks, GMCs, and then there's also a Cadillac brand as well. But if that's not a big deal to you, or you want to find something closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out the info, and I'll make sure local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on a new Tahoe or any new vehicle you might be interested in. But final thoughts here, it's expensive, but it's not surprising what the price is. And I love the new design. I love the rear end. The front end has grown on me. I'd say the Yukon's my favorite between the Tahoe, Yukon, and Escalade, but Escalade's close second, and this might be tied for second, honestly, with Escalade. They just did a great job, GM did, redesigning these large SUVs. But with all that being said, this is going to bring me to an end of my review of this new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Z71.